Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So, for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Understand a lot of people who put relationships up on any kind of social media. On one hand, it is nice to document your life, and especially if your channel is based on your lifestyle and stuff like that. I get it. It's understandable. But it's gotten to the point now where people are too loose on what they say on the internet. You know, a lot of times when a couple or whatever you guys are doing these days, situationships, etc., whatever y'all doing these days, like usually the nasty bits and shit people don't put out there because one, it's embarrassing, and two, people don't need to know your entire life. But it does seem like now that divide is getting smaller and smaller and is basically non-existent now. People put everything, and I mean everything, online. If if they're suffering from some type of STD, if they're cheating on whoever, if they've done some disgusting shit, it doesn't matter. As long as it gets clicks, as long as it gets views, they'll put it out there. They don't care. Their number one thing is clout. And these are the people that I usually tend to stay away from because one, I think I share some things with you guys, especially on my shorts and shit. But I can't put my entire personality, I can't put my entire self into this. You know? It's like when people say that you had to be 100% honest with your partner. I don't, I think people would like to believe that, but in reality, nobody's doing that shit. Nobody is, okay? Let's keep it 1,000. No one's doing that. Not even me. You know, there's certain things that you still keep secret, nothing life altering or whatever, but just, you know, a person has to have certain things that they do keep to themselves. But lately, it's been like, I've never seen someone in such a position where I go like, yo, I don't want that for myself ever. I don't want whatever love that is, keep it over there. Keep it on the other side of the fence. Don't cross over to this side. I am good. Now, this guy that you guys see on the screen here is Akash Singh. He's a pretty funny guy, and I won't lie, I'm not like the biggest fan of his. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's not funny. I'm not gonna sit here and say that some of his specials and some of his crowd work and shit like that aren't really good. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. We don't do that over here. But recently, I've been feeling kind of bad for the guy because of all the shit that's going on social media. And because his wife is just making him look like the world's biggest, like, fool, the world's biggest cuck. Like, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, yo, somebody, Instagram, TikTok, shut down her account because this guy might end up doing something because he can't take the embarrassment. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember that Try Guys situation when Ned got revealed for being a cheater after he spent months, not even months, years and years talking about, oh, my wife, I love my wife, oh, I can't do anything without my wife, my wife, my wife. Then he goes and cheats on her type shit. You know, it's just like those kind of blows are very hard to recover from because especially when you base your career and when you base certain jokes around that, and then it comes out that your wife is just speaking atrociously about the things in her past out to the world while you're still trying to make it, like it's a really frustrating situation. It's like you being a rapper or entertainer and you're trying to minimize anything someone could make fun of you for, and then your partner comes out and spills like, oh, he doodles on himself while he's sleeping, or he pisses on himself while he sleeps, and she just blurts that out. Those who needs enemies when you have a partner like that? This is, mind you, this is the person who's supposed to be with you through thick and thin. This is the person that when you're in a bad situation, you hope has your back. But she's online talking like this. Couldn't be me, man. I could not. That could not be me. And especially him being a comedian, I know when he goes in them circles, in those back rooms, that they're lighting his ass up. And he better have some good comebacks because this shit is too much, bro. This shit, like, I don't know if mentally I have enough willpower enough to come back on the internet after my wife is talking about all the things that she used to do. My bad, yo. The battery died, you feel me? But I'm still coming back into this. But this is not even like on no, oh, you have to be the man, da 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 da. Da. It's just about backbone. It's about the lack of thoughtfulness for your partner. I would never come up on here and just start bashing an ex or something like that, unless they did something that was like unruly, like crazy disrespectful, and I can find a lesson in it to teach other people. Like, yo, don't do this, don't do the stupid shit that I did. But it just, it's about self-respect. No self-respecting person, especially if you claim, like she did on this podcast with her friend or whatever, that you don't work, you rely 100% on your husband to provide for you and everything, and you actively don't care about making him look crazy online. That it's just, it's a bigger problem that I'm starting to see a lot in real life and in social media. A lot of people don't have the wherewithal or just the compassion for their partners anymore. They will say the most egregious stuff online and thinking that they're connecting with their so-called fans. Mind you, fans who don't have a relationship, fans who are very bitter and stuff like that. They seek a connection with these people, not knowing that these people are actually envious of them because they have a partner and they have an actual life. They're not living life through someone else on social media. And a lot of people just lack the compassion people a lot of the times claim that they have in spades. They just lack it totally. Like, not only are you messing with his livelihood, you're just putting out to the world that the dude doesn't have any self-respect for himself. Only a person who doesn't have respect for themselves would take the constant, like, emotional pain. Like, no one wants to hear about all the type of shit you popping your cooch for white boys in a frat. Like, that shit sounds crazy. Even watching this video, I had to stop. I had to stop because I was like, yo, what the fuck is she saying? What is she going on about, bruv? What what is she on? I would never. A thing I always pray about is may a woman or a relationship like this never find me, because I don't know. I don't know how he's gonna keep on going with this, because that shit. Imagine getting in an argument and they're just like, "Yo, your wife used to pop that cooch for me back in high school or back in college." Like, that shit's just, that's a game changer. Like, you can't. What can you say after that? What could you say after that? But as usual, part of me does feel bad for Akash and stuff. But then the other part of me is like, he knew what he was getting himself into, or at least I hope he did. But what could you do? But that's it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully, Akash can find a way to either skirt this situation or make this whole thing into like a self-deprecating joke that's actually funny. Because I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that Akash isn't funny. He's a pretty funny guy, but this kind of shit, especially with a comedian, when your whole world is jokes, people are not gonna let up about this. I know that dude from Fresh and Fit, was it Myron? He's going ham on the internet with this, but it's one of those things where what could you really do other than just try to get by? And I'll be praying for homie. But that's it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.